Good afternoon, students. In the previous video, we discussed the Cuba Missile Crisis and about the First and Second World War. Today, we start the next topic of our chapter, Emergence of Two Power Blocks. Here, I am talking about the Eastern Blocs and Western Blocs, which was headed by United States of America and USSR, United Soviet Socialist Republic. Let us start. The Second World War came to an end in the year 1945. With the end of Second World War, two new powers rose on the global stage, that is USA and USSR. When both sides have the capacity to retaliate against an attack and to cause so much destruction that neither can afford to initiate war, it is called as the logic of deterrence, which was an inseparable part of the Cold War. The most important feature of Cold War, that was logic of deterrence. Yes, try to understand logic of deterrence. As you know that both the superpower laced with the nuclear weapons, and both knew about the destruction of weapons as did by America in Japan. That was the reason that both countries knew about the power of nuclear weapons. So, in the both of them, nobody wants to initiate for starting the war. That was the reason, logic of deterrence. दोनों महाशक्ति एक दूसरे से परिचित थी कि अगर युद्ध होता है तो कोई भी विजेता घोषित नहीं होगा. यही कारण था कि उन्होंने एक दूसरे के ऊपर हमला नहीं किया. To expand their sphere of influence in the different parts of the world, the two superpowers formed alliances according to which a state was supposed to remain tied to its protective superpower and its allies. As you know that the NATO and the Warsaw, these were the military organization which was formed by the United States of America and United Soviet Socialist Republic. The Western Alliance was formalized into an organization called North Atlantic Treaty Organization in 1949, 12 member countries, and the Eastern Alliance known as Warsaw Pact was led by Soviet Union in 1955, 15 member countries of Eastern Alliance. The smaller states in the alliances use the link to superpower to get protection, weapons, and economic aid against their local rivals. Yes, it is very important question of 2 marks, that why the smaller states they joined the blocks, Eastern blocks or the Western blocks, to get economic aid, to get protection, to get weapons. All these were the reasons that smaller states became the part of the two super blocks. Next, very important question, that why did superpower do military alliance with small nations? Yes, what were the reasons that the big powers like USA and USSR they formed alliance? They make hands with the small states. Why? Superpowers had military alliance with smaller states so that superpowers could launch their weapons and troops from these countries. Remind about the Cuba Missile Crisis. At that time, the USSR set up its base at Cuba, and now USA was under the reach of atomic missile for the first time in the world. Second, superpower used to spy the enemy countries with smaller countries. Yes, spy होता है कि उसको गुप्तचर, it means जासूसी करना. स्पाई का मतलब होता है जासूसी करना, कि महाशक्तियाँ छोटे कंट्रीज से क्या करती थी, अपनी जो राइवल कंट्रीज थे उनकी जासूसी करा सकती थी. एक्सेस टू वाइटल रिसोर्सेज, स्मॉलर कंट्रीज़ के रिसोर्सेज को यूज़ करने के लिए मिलिट्री अलायंस बनाए गए. फॉर गेटिंग इकोनॉमिक स्पॉट, वॉर के अंदर खर्चा और खर्चे की भरपाई के लिए उन्होंने क्या किया था, छोटी शक्तियों से हाथ मिलाया था. टू फॉर्म मिलिट्री बेस एंड गेट आइडियोलॉजिकल सपोर्ट. आइडियोलॉजिकल सपोर्ट, that liberal democratic capitalism versus communism and socialism. So these were the reasons that superpowers do military alliance with the small nations. Next, the emergence of non-aligned movement. India got independence in 1947 and India did not join either USA or USSR. Indian Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and four other prime minister of the different countries like Egypt, like Yugoslavia, Indonesia. We will discuss later about non-aligned movement in detail. So these countries gave a stage to the new decolonized countries that not to become the part of USA or USSR. Let us neutral, or let us make a distance from the two superpowers. Next topic is the arenas of the Cold War. The arenas of the Cold War refer to the areas where crisis and war occurred or threatened to occur between the alliance system but did not lead to the world war. एरेनास ऑफ द कोल्ड वॉर का मतलब है कि ऐसे कौन कौन से इंसिडेंट्स थे जिसके लिए दोनों महाशक्ति एक दूसरे के सामने थी, बट उनके बीच में क्या नहीं हो सका, एक युद्ध नहीं हो सका जिससे थर्ड वर्ल्ड वॉर शुरू नहीं हुआ. अब कौन कौन से ऐसे इंपॉर्टेंट इंसिडेंट्स थे जब दोनों महाशक्ति एक दूसरे के सामने थी. देयर वर सेवरल क्राइसिस ड्यूरिंग द कोल्ड वॉर. द टू सुपर पावर वर poised for direct confrontation in Korean War in 1950 to 53, Berlin 58 to 62, and Congo War 1960. But it did not lead to the Third World War. These were the three important incident or war when the two superpower, they were directly confronted to each other, but fortunately the Third World War would not be start. Sometimes countries outside the two blocks, like named countries, played a significant role in reducing Cold War conflicts and averting some grave crises. Yes, name played very important role in reducing the conflicts between the two nations, USA and USSR. Jawaharlal Nehru, one of the prominent leader of Indian National Congress and the first Prime Minister of India, played a crucial role in mediating between the two Koreas, North Korea and South Korea. After watching huge destruction caused by weapons, the US and USSR decided to collaborate in limiting or eliminating certain kinds of nuclear weapons. Yes, they understood about the destruction which was caused by the nuclear weapons. So they decided to eliminate some kinds of nuclear weapon from this world. The two sides signed a significant agreement that are as follows. So three treaties were signed between the USA and USSR. First, Limited Test Ban Treaty in 1963, Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty in 1968, and Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty in 1972. So these were the three important treaties were signed between USA and USSR to eliminate certain kinds of nuclear weapons. So dear students, today lecture, the most important point, that is logic of deterrence. What is logic of deterrence? It means that both superpower, they knew that the both superpower less with the nuclear weapon. If there would be a war, nobody would be the winner. That was the reason that these nuclear weapons prevent the world from the Third World War. That was the logic of deterrence. And next one is that emergence of two blocks, how these two countries came into power, make alliances and make alliances with the smaller states, why the smaller states joined the super blocks, and why the super blocks formed by the large nation and make hands with the smaller nations. Thank you and have a nice day.